How old's your buggy now?
2 years old.
Okay. And how we'll do this is we're just going to talk like you're just talking to some random person that's looking at your buggy. Like, don't worry about the camera. Okay. So who built it? Who built your car?
My dad and my grandpa.
Oh yeah? Where'd they build it at?
In our old house in the shop.
Okay. So everything's home built,
Yes.
right? Tell me a little bit about it. Tell me what you know about the buggy. Let's start with that.
What I know about it is it's a Harley Davidson Sportster motor with a 1200 big boy kit, and I have a Samurai transfer case.
Okay.
And a Toyota axles loaded with trail gear 419 gears, and
That's right.
and I have 40s Max's trips on for my tires and trail gear tires.
Okay. Now your tires, are they stickies?
Yes.
So it's not a tire you can drive on the road, right?
Not really.
Okay. So you have rear steer on this, right?
Right.
How do you control that?
So we control it from right here on this little joystick.
Okay.
And
Does it self center or you have full control of it?
I have to full control.
Okay. Do you use the rear steer often?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you like using the rear steer?
Yes.
Well, so the reason I ask is I know a lot of people that have rear steer, but it seems like they're not comfortable using it, and they're almost like using it incorrectly, maybe. So the fact that you're your age, I'm guessing you take a lot of direction from your spotter, right?
Right.
And who's your spotter?
My dad.
Okay. Do y'all is it hand signals or do y'all do it with a radio?
We do it with PCI radios.
Okay. And you're sponsored by Trail Gear, right?
Right.
So they help you out quite a bit?
Yeah.
Nice. What other sponsors do you have?
Max's, tires, Brannock Motorsports, trail gears.
Well, guys, welcome. It's Hitch from Seeyouonthetrail and Seth, of course, as well. We've got two new guests here, Mr. Wyatt Brown and also Landen Brown. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Thanks for having us.
Landon, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Have you ever met us before?
No.
Well, technically, you hadn't met me until like an hour ago. But we do have the last name, so like it's like I already knew you.
That's true. You guys do have last name. You guys might be related somehow.
I don't know. My grandfather was in the Navy, so who's...
Yeah, who knows? Well, let's go ahead and start out with Landon. Tell us who you are, when you started rock crawling, and when you started competing, and where you're from.
So, my name's Landen Brown, and we started rock crawling. We started competing in 2019, and I think we built Sub-Zero 2018. And I think that's when we practiced out in the yard to get me used to it and stuff. And then right before we started competing, because it was getting a little bit like harder and stuff, bigger courses and stuff. And so we climbed up on a tree, and Dad flipped me over so I'd get used to flipping over and stuff.
So you purposely drove up on a tree and flipped yourself over?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But
Now, that first time, was it scary?
no,
No,
Not at all?
not really.
No, it's pretty controlled, wasn't it?
that's cool. What the heck is
the
that?
cat's bouncing around.
Okay.
You got another possum jumping around in the...
Yeah, no joke.
So, do you practice getting out of the car?
Not really.
Have you ever thought about doing that?
No.
So, and here's why I ask. A lot of sanctioning bodies like NASCAR and like drag racing and stuff, they actually have a standard on like how fast you have to get out of the car. So they'll give you, it's like, they'll say go, and you have to be in all your gear, buckled up. And now granted, this is not an emergency situation. This is just the car sitting there. But you have to show that you can get out of the car and away from the car within a certain period of like 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So that might be something you can implement just so that way you get that muscle memory down. Because you play baseball and football? And y'all do a bunch of drills in that, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be the same thing. It's just practicing for something that you don't want to happen.
Yeah.
But you can have fun with it with you and your brother. Y'all can time each other and see who wins, and then the loser has to mow the yard or something. But I would recommend, like, say, hey, what's a reasonable amount of time to get out of the car? 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And base it off of your fire suit. So your fire suit has, depending on how many layers, has so many seconds per layer of protection. And so if your fire suit has 30 seconds of protection, you should be able to get out of that car and away from the car no slower than the minimum or the maximum time that your fire suit allows. So something to think about, maybe implement.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then that way you got that muscle memory built up. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Like, they think, oh, it's my car, I know what to do. But without that muscle memory, I would even say get comfortable doing it and then blindfold yourself.
Yeah.
Because you might be upside down, there might be smoke. Blindfold yourself, put earmuffs in so that way you can't, like, your sensors are gone. It's all by feel, and you should still be able to do the same thing. So that way, if something happens, you can get out of the car blind, deaf, and still be able to know where everything is and get out of the car. And then maybe you can climb up the tree again, get upside down, and then do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good segue. Let's go ahead and now you guys compete in We Rock, which we're mainly geared toward Ultra 4, but you guys were somewhat local to us. That's why I reached out to you. I've done some other events with you. Right. Love watching your socials and all that. But with We Rock, they have a different standard for safety. So we put up. Go ahead and show us what you got there and what you guys use it for and what's different about it versus Ultra 4.
So that's your helmet, right?
Right.
What type of helmet is that? Is it a motorcycle helmet?
So this is a motorcycle DOT helmet.
So the rating on it, or the standard on it, is to a DOT spec.
Yep. And we wanted something that still protects his shell, but when he has his headset on that we're talking to each other with, it don't interfere with that. Okay. We had in the past, before they really started hammering down on the DOT side of things.
Like they're getting away from that standard?
They're staying with DOT.
Okay.
But in the past, when we started competing, we had ski-style helmets that had the padding.
Yeah.
And the old-style comms that we had, they had the Velcro stickies in them. So, I mean, you could hear really well, but it wasn't DOT spec. So, therefore, now that everything's going to DOT, we had to upgrade him.
Gotcha. Now, and you say the comms, with the comms, that you're outside of the truck. Now, for what, actually, let's go ahead and go with, let's explain We Rock from the beginning. Okay. How does We Rock work? Everybody calls it cone dodging, okay, but tell us how the premise of that works.
So you got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes on each course. Okay. You got 4 courses per day, 4 for Saturday, 4 for Sunday. Okay. You hit 40 plus 40 points on a course, your DNF. But it's much like golf. You want negative instead of positive.
I gotcha.
So like a backup is +1. Depending on what gates have cone or bonus lines, you can have a -10 on a bonus, or if you clip a cone going through, it's a 0. But if you run a standard line and you hit a cone, it's a +10. But the bonus lines don't count till you're completely done and off the course.
Right. Now, I do know that, I mean, We Rock, we always laugh about it, but We Rock's always had a pretty thick Bible of rules. But once you figure it out and you understand it, it's a fun sport. And it's, if you're comparing against trophy truck racing or Ultra 4, it's relatively cheaper,
right,
more inexpensive, but you still get the same stuff. It's a blast to watch.
And I tell everybody, like, if you got a regular trail rig or whatever, there's a class for you. Mm-hmm. Come try it. I mean, it's the fastest 10 minutes that you'll ever experience. I mean, as soon as you say go, you're like, you're 9 minutes already? Where'd it go?
Yeah, and now, whenever they say go at We Rock, he's in the car in Thunderation, and you're outside the vehicle with the helmet on, right, and you've got comms to where you guys can talk back and forth calmly and not have to scream at each other. Do they still use
that? we've had radios go dead on course.
Well, and I'm assuming you also have some hand signals.
Yes. So
Yeah.
my left arm is strictly rear steer.
Okay.
My front is the front. Correct.
Your right arm is front.
Yep. Right
Okay.
arm's front, left is rear. So when I'm pointing this way, he knows to take the rear one way or the other.
Do you ever get that backwards?
Sometimes.
Okay.
He gets it backwards sometimes. That's for sure.
Well, which I mean, even full size adults that are driving, I'm gonna say you're a small size adult because you're doing a type of motorsport that most adults won't ever get to do. So you're doing something on your own that is awesome. But when the adults are doing it, don't worry, they don't ever always get it right either.
So you're out in front and you're telling him what to do with hand signals and speaking.
Yep.
And how many races have you guys done so far?
Well, we've done. We started in 2019 when he was 5 years old. We ran 4 that year: Texas, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Farmington. And then we did 4 the next year. And then last year, we didn't make it to Farmington for the finals, but we made the other 3. But we had car trouble from Mason, Texas. We have car trouble.
Alan's chasing a cat through this shop right now, just so everybody knows.
Put some catnip in that room.
Yeah, because that chair is going to keep her from coming back through. I got an airsoft pistol at home I can bring.
Joke. All right, keep on going. I'm sorry, man.
You're good. But
Landon, you're supposed to have the cat under control. You had one job.
But last year we had some ups and downs. We went to Texas. We're doing pretty good, competing with everybody. We made the jump to Sportsman A instead of when Landon started competing in 2019. I had called Rich Klein and asked him if he had a kid class, and he's like, "Bring Landon down. We'll put him in a class." And that was in 19. So he wrote the rules for the youth class, which is 5 to 8 years old. You can't have can't be over, I think, 93-inch wheelbase, no taller than a 35-inch tire. And then from 9 to 12-year-old, you can do go up to a bigger CC and have rear steer, taller tire if you want. But last year in 2022. Now, 21, we went to Farmington and we moved to the Sportsman A class, so competing against the unlimited cars on the Sportsman courses. So we're competing against portal buggies, 42s,
Wow.
mid-engine like Skip Scott, John Hembley, them guys, and that's when we made the jump to Sportsman A, which is a lot. I mean, we're competing against ourselves in the youth and the mini class, anyways. But we're running the same courses, but we're taking our score against their scores. I mean, we're doing the exact same courses, so that's how we were kind of gauging where we were. Moved up to Sportsman A, had a really good weekend. We ended up finishing second on the box against, I think, class of 12, I believe.
Yeah.
12 nationals. Well, like this year, so we started again in Sportsman A. We were doing great in Texas, and then we had buggy trouble. We had, I think, the engine belt broke on one of the courses, so we had a DNF there. And in that class, you can't make mistakes very much, or there's no chance. I mean,
Well, the way the scoring is done is you start out with a negative score, right?
no, you start out with 0.
You start out with 0, yes.
Out with 0.
And so everything you do that I guess is negative for you actually adds points to your score.
Correct.
And then you can reduce your score into a negative number, correct?
Negative's what you want, positive's what you don't want.
Yes. And how do you get to the negatives?
The negatives,
Can we touch on that?
It's just cleaning the course clean, running bonus lines where you can.
So you actually get points taken off for helping clean up the course?
No. I mean, like, run the clean.
Oh,
run a
okay,
clean
all
course.
right.
I'm sorry. Run a clean course. Run bonus lines where you can, where it don't, kind of a limiting factor. Sometimes they hurt you more than they do help you. Try to limit your backups.
Because every backup.
Every backup's a point.
Yep.
Sometimes, in Tennessee this year, there was one line that we didn't see anybody run, but we basically had to back the whole buggy up on the side of the hill, and I was telling him to dig it and turn down or turn left and burn it around. That way it lines us up, because it was a basically had to back up into it and drop down out of it.
Okay.
Well, when he backed up into it, I said, all right, burn it down. Well, he thought coming back towards me. And so he drove back towards me. I'm like, no, back up the hill, burn it,
Oh, in
where we need to.
Tennessee?
Yes. And,
He's like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that.
and so, I mean, we have more fun than anything.
Well,
I mean,
I think that
it's-
is the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. is
I mean,
Yeah.
keep it fun, let him
spending
go.
time with your kids, providing them like this experience, and I mean, hopefully they at some point in their life will look back on this and be like, wow, he did a lot for us,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean those buggies, Sub-Zero and Thunderation, I guarantee you they ain't cheap.
Oh no.
No,
But I'll tell you what, it's better than drugs.
absolutely.
Even if you
Absolutely.
build something on a budget, I mean, it's still a big budget.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I mean,
there ain't no way we could do this without our sponsors and our friends and
yeah, you
family
guys
and
got.
stuff.
I mean, he
So-
rambled them off out there. I mean, Maxis came on board hardcore with you guys.
They did.
They did. Because I remember first time I met you was at Texas Motor Speedway for the Unlimited Off-Road Expo, and you remember giving rides to everybody.
Yeah.
He was going up on the teeter-totter and stuff. That
Yeah,
was
because
so cool.
Sub-Zero's a 2-seat, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And we just had to find the right kids to give a ride to because some people couldn't fit in them.
I thought you were going to say small people.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. He's taken me up the waterfall a couple times at Disney.
Yeah, that's
in the
what-
passenger seat, but I wasn't locked in or nothing either.
Right.
But,
I
it's kind
got
of
you.
a-
You can't say that. People will say you're unsafe.
Yeah, that's true.
that's
That
true.
didn't happen.
So see what happened was. No.
No, I'll tell you what. Now, I mean, we've heard about his history. What about you? What got you into? I mean, where'd you grow up? How'd you learn how to?
So I grew up all over the place here in Oklahoma. I raced motocross from, I picked it up real hard and heavy when I was probably about 12 years old. And I raced all the way through high school and a couple years after high school. I kept getting hurt. And, of course, you can't work outside of high school anymore. Once you're done with school, Dad's done paying. So,
Right.
I'm on my own. Well, I still wanted to race. Well, I kept getting hurt. So I decided to hang it up. And I had a little 91 Toyota pickup at the time. And a buddy left his welder at my dad's shop. And so I was like, well, let's straight axle this thing. Let's see what happens. So it started from there. And then it just went on and on and on. And then... heck, when I had the first Wee Rock competition I've ever seen was below Grand back in like the early 2000s.
God, that was a CalRocks event, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because CalRocks was the only one that was able to compete legally
Yep.
in the Disney Rocks until Ultra 4 showed up this year.
Right.
Yeah, that is right.
Because I think it was a CalRocks event with Kenny Bloom and
Yep.
who's the dude that had the ZF axles? Old guy, always wore overalls.
Wasn't it an orange buggy?
I can't remember, but
But I remember watching Hogan compete in his little green
Go,
Hornet.
Hogan.
I remember watching Hogan compete in his little green Hornet.
yeah, the Green Hornet, and then
there's some famous stickers running around Oklahoma
gosh.
that have his name in them. I forget. It's Hogan is a something. I don't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
exactly. what
I'm
they
sure
say.
we've
I've
seen
never
them.
had a problem with it.
I
You know,
never
probably-
have either, but I've heard of stories with
Well,
old.
it's all I've really ever heard or seen is that Disney is his off-road park.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
probably the best way to leave it at. But then that was a CalRocks event, and I remember that was the only competition that's ever been held legally there, and but then that was your first event to see
That was
cone
my-
dodging.
Yeah, that was my first like rock crawling event they ever see, and I was like, man, this is a lot of fun, And
Mm-hmm.
that was, and then it pretty much went away. And then now here I am with him, and all of a sudden I got a hold of the guy that put it on, and he's like, hey, come on,
Was that Big Rich?
That was Big
Big Rich, yeah.
And so then it just took off from there.
Now, what happened with? I've noticed that on the socials, We Rock isn't really promoted by Big Rich anymore.
Nope, it actually Jake Good and Caleb Good took it over from
Okay,
Big Rich and
Jake
Shelley.
Good. All right,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, because Rich, he just lives on the beach now, kind of, doesn't he?
No, he lives down in Fredericksburg. He has a
Okay,
bed. He has a bed
yeah.
and breakfast or a VRBO or something down there. Last I heard, I don't.
I know they're all over the place. I love Rich and Shelley, but I know they got places in Mason, Texas, where we compete out here in March.
Yep.
Which that is that K2?
Yep, that's K2.
Okay.
Katemsi.
Yeah. Or
Poughkeepsie.
Contimsey too.
Yep.
Yeah. Because Contimsey original or Contimsey Rocks isn't open anymore.
I gotcha. And then, but anyway, so then you and Christina get married.
Yep. So we got married, and then heck, we were. In fact, our first date, her and I's first date was down below Disney in the Rocks. She told me she can bow fish.
Wait, is this going to be PG or?
Yeah. It can be PG, it can be rated R. It all happened that
9
same
months
day.
later, we have Landon and we're building the buggy.
Yeah. How are you? No.
He yeah. He's
Okay,
like,
just
what?
just stay
You'll
oblivious.
understand one day.
Oh,
So that was your first
That
date?
was our first date. I took her in my big buggy down there below Disney. We were bow fishing off. We pulled into like one of the holes down there, and there's fish swimming around. And she told me she can bow fish. And so I got on one tire, she got on the other tire, and we both shot at a fish. Well, one of us hit it, and it wasn't me.
was it a gar or a carp?
It was gar.
Okay.
And so I put my bow down. I just watched her shoot the rest of the time.
Nice.
So it was cool. And then after that, we got a house together. Then here comes him in 2013. Her and I got together in, I want to say 2011. Don't kill me, but 2011. But and then Landon was born in 2013. And before he was born, I actually built did you ever see my Super Daddy stroller? I named it.
I never
It's a
saw that.
Super
No,
Daddy
you have to send me a
stroller.
couple pictures of
I
it. So I'll
will.
put it.
I remember.
Do,
Yeah,
Do
I'll
you?
send you some pictures.
Do you
of it.
really?
Yes.
He remember
Okay.
seeing pictures of it.
No, I don't.
But yeah, I built the Super Daddy stroller. It had
I still
Interco
have the
tires
panels
on
in
it.
my room.
Huh? Yeah.
I remember it.
And so I had a steering wheel on the back. We can push it like it was a big. In fact, Derek Morris with Rednecks for Paychecks bought it from me.
Okay.
And so
And it had air fans in it and
they had little
stuff.
fans to cool him off as a little baby and stuff. It was cool.
Nice.
Stroller.
It had lights in front
We
too.
pushed it around the zoo, and we were told we couldn't take it into the monkey exhibit because they would go insane. And so we couldn't. That was the only spot in entire zoo we couldn't take
That
it.
the monkeys would go
The
insane?
monkeys would go
Did
insane.
they say why? Like, are they a fan of motorsports or something?
I don't know.
Like, oh my gosh,
lady
that's the
stopped us
coolest
and
stroller
said,
I've
"No."
ever seen.
Yep.
Never saw one of those in a zoo before.
Yeah, I don't start throwing crap at us.
Yeah, They're trying to kidnap
Cool.
you.
And then
right.
Gunner came around.
Yep. And
What-
so yeah, we
2017.
After another bow fishing trip.
yeah, right. Another big meat run. Or
Yeah.
something, but
Penny Hill.
Those of you that know Panty Hill,
yep,
Or,
crazy
actually,
things
the-
happen there.
And on the map, there's a Penny Hill and a Bra Hill.
there is.
Oh, there's a Bra Hill?
Further east.
Oh, I haven't been to the Bra
A
Hill
friend
yet.
told me.
Which
a friend told me.
the Bra Hill is the one I've seen. Penny Hill I haven't, but at Nationals I was looking at a map and I think the one from GRDA, it actually has Penny Hill
Yeah.
and Bra Hill on the official map from the Grand River Dam Authority.
I actually,
Wow.
what was it,
I
like
didn't know
4 or 5 years ago, I took my son, I borrowed a friend of mine, Grover, he's passed away, but I borrowed his rock crawler, and it was my son's, like, Thanksgiving vacation or something. And so I took him to Disney, and we just spent time on the rocks. And I took him up to Panty Hill, and there is a picture of him standing there next to the big tree that's got all the panties on it.
Right.
And he's mad. He's just like, ah. He did not want to take a picture in front of Panty Hill.
Come on.
There's some that are up there. I'm like, man, I hope that those have been there a while because they're really dirty and nasty. And I hope that it's from natural causes and not from whoever put them
Oh,
up
I've
there.
heard
Well,
some
have y'all
crazy
been
stories.
a little further back to the south of there is where the swamps are at. So maybe they came out of the swamp and then went up there and said, hey, we need to change.
Came out of some kind of swamp.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Let's go ahead and change the subject
Let's go
now.
back to rock crawling.
But
So Disney's kind of your home area
Yeah.
originally?
yeah, we've
Or
held
for rock crawling or
We've had a
off-roading?
lot of toy drives. there.
we've we'll get into that.
3 toy drives.
So I started building Sub-Zero. I gave it to Landon on his 4th Christmas.
That's a heck of a Christmas present,
yeah,
man.
right. Wish I'd come on, Dad, you're slacking. But
I think my daughter got a Barbie
the Barbie, right on.
or something like that. At Chick-fil-A or something.
But so I gave it to him on his 4th Christmas. We didn't have a wrap on it yet. We didn't even know what we was gonna name it. we were watching Santa Claus 3 with
No.
what were we watching?
Yeah, we were watching Santa Claus 3, and it wasn't it like blue panels or something.
Yeah, it was blue panel. So you're just gonna name it Frost,
We're
and then we
gonna
also
na-
watched what else?
We were
in there?
watch Mortal Kombat,
Mm.
and we were gonna either pick Jack Frost or just Sub-Zero, and I like Sub-Zero the most.
I think it's a great name. Now, do you feel like you're really cool when you're in that buggy? Like you're so cool that you're Sub-Zero? So the movie you're watching, the Santa Claus movie before that, is that the one with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
So that original one, I showed my daughter when she was a baby, and in the beginning, when Tim Allen first gets on the suit and he doesn't know what's going on, and one of the reindeers fart. Well, that became the title of the movie, and she's your age. She'll turn 10 in February. She still calls the original Santa Claus movie the Reindeer Farts movie.
That's nice.
She's like, Dad, when she was younger, I want to watch Reindeer Farts. What? The Reindeer Farts movie. What? It's about Christmas? And oh, you mean the Santa Claus? Yeah, the Reindeer Farts movie. Like, all right. So that's all I could think about when you said the Santa Claus.
That's how you came up with the name Sub-Zero.
Was Mortal Kombat around Christmas time? Great Christmas movie.
It was the Christmas.
Better than Die Hard.
Yeah, right. So we watched. So Sub-Zero is what we named it, and then a friend of ours wrapped it for us, and then that's where Sub-Zero came from.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then after Sub-Zero, you Gunner ended up getting Sub-Zero. You gave it to him.
Right.
And then now you've got Thunderation.
Right.
Tell us how you came up with the name Thunderation.
So we went to this place we went to Branson, and they had this roller coaster we rode like 60 times. It was a lot of times.
Can you even count to 60?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, well,
Okay,
a
don't worry
yes
about
would have been good.
So Hitch, you'll know that it's that Thunderation roller coaster
Mm-hmm.
there in Silver Dollar City. In
Oh,
fact,
okay.
his hair, him and his little cousin Aiden, they both mohawked their hair that day, and there was like hardly anybody there at Silver Dollar City. Well, the employees like just let them go. They would there'd be no line, and they would come in and just
Right.
keep sending. They'd
Just making
let 'em go.
laps.
And so they made I don't know how many laps.
We
And
did like 5. We got off, then we went again, then we went again, then we went again.
I mean, they kept going and going,
Well,
and so finally,
that's a good concept.
so with the Harley, like, what are we gonna name this one? And he's like, well, let's name it after that roller coaster I got to ride because it kind of fits. You got rolling like Harley, Thunder.
yeah, American Thunder.
So Thunderation, it all kind of fit.
Man, if only Fort
Nice.
Thunder Harley Davidson would sponsor you.
Yeah, no
I
joke.
know, right?
Yeah, I mean, Thunder.
You know what's
Harley.
funny about that roller coaster?
What?
Is it used to have it where the roller coaster they'd swap a train to where you could face each other,
Huh?
and so my mom and dad were on this side, and me and my brother were on the other side. We were facing each other. That's the only time I have ever heard my mom cuss.
Really?
Oh, she yelled shit when we went into the corkscrew and do it. That's the only time I've ever heard my mom cuss.
Was your mom backwards facing you?
Yeah, we were facing each other.
Oh,
Yeah. She was forward. She was going forward. We were going backward.
Oh, well, it's probably because she was looking at you. She's like, shit, I made this guy?
She broke many a plastic spoon on my butt, but she never cussed until that one time.
Did you laugh and point?
No, Oh no, we recorded it. I got it recorded.
Can we please put that on here?
I don't think she'd agree with that.
Or just
But
the audio?
have you been to Branson lately where they have the time traveler now?
Yes.
Yes, we've been to the time traveler, but I couldn't go to ride it. I was short.
They've got a bunch of those downhill roller like coasters, like where you're self-guiding.
Yeah, they've got those,
They've
but
got,
those
like,
aren't at
three-
Silver City.
Yeah, they're outside,
Yeah.
Branson in general. We were there last summer for a softball tournament, and there was like four of them. Like, but one's right there in the middle, and he'd probably go down without the brake the whole way,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? Nope.
He
Okay.
was zoned.
So we're
We
about.
have seen those though. Those look like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, me and my boy did them 3 or 4 years ago, and they're fun. They're good times. But now we're about halfway through our podcast right now, And we like to hit up people and talk about our sponsors and who's helping us out. First off, we do want to thank Custom Splice.
Yes. very
Custom
much so.
Splice, Todd Stoffer, he helps us out tremendously. He does winch ropes, recovery gear,
Custom fair leads.
custom fair leads,
Sells
soft shackles.
Factor 55 makes
Yeah,
his own
he
products.
sells with Factor 55
Like
as well.
the winch line on my Jeep, I wanted the Factor 55 splicer, and when I ordered my rope, I said, "Can you put it on there for me?" And so I ordered it with the splicer already on there, already built on. I didn't have to do anything. It came straight from him exactly how I wanted.
Yeah, Todd. Hey, by the way, I think he may need a winch rope.
Yes,
Mr. Stauffer?
Soft shackles. Do you ever put a rope on it to hold
Like
some
a
I
side
Steve-O?
don't
tension?
have one of those. The
Well,
spark
I think
strap?
Custom Splice has the product for you.
All right.
We'll get you in touch with Todd. He's a good friend, longtime friend of ours. Whenever I go to KOH, that's usually who I stay with is Todd. And I've known him since Dirt Riot. Dirt Riot, the first season, so that'd have been 2011 or 12 would be whenever I met Todd. And
He's not far from me. He's in Wichita.
Oh, really?
He's a Oklahoma State alumni.
actually he's not Wichita. He's in Lawrence, more Kansas City.
Oh, okay. I thought originally he was closer.
No, he did go to OSU though.
Okay.
Oh, so I was 50%.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
And then
I'll take those odds.
the next one, I always keep stuff whenever people come and do a podcast or whenever I go with them and travel with them. I like to take something back with me. Like Mick Henson gave me the 4681 nameplate. Brad Lovell gave me that. Derek West gave me this. And then the other one is this right here. This is one that's this is one that was kind of short story. I lost all my equipment in 2015. I failed to close the tailgate on my truck. Good job there, genius. And then
You have so many cords.
and I failed, so I lost my whole tote. And a guy by the name of Lauren Healy gave me this GoPro that Landon's holding right now.
So what are you supposed to say? Be really, really sad. Please sign this.
Come on, go ahead.
Well, I can't be sad.
Okay. Well do
awesome.
Okay. Well, do it how you want. However you want to do it.
Say, yep.
Get Lauren Healy to sign that. What would you say? Hold it up. Hold
Hold
it
it
up.
up, Landon.
I don't know.
No. Say, Lauren Healy, will you please sign this for me?
Lauren Healy, will you please sign this for me?
There we go.
And we'll give it away.
Yeah, that's the plan. Once we finally get it signed, we're gonna give it away to somebody.
But hey, now we want you to do it on your own, okay? So I want you to stand up. Get it, stand up. I want you to do this on your own. Oh, sorry.
You're right.
Get on your knees. Get on your knees. And hold it out here like this. Hold it out here like this. And then bend down. And then I kind of pick it up a little bit. Say, Lauren Healy, kind of sad, do it.
Lauren Healy, can you please sign this for me?
He's a starving kid. All he wants is for this to be signed, and that will make his day. Without this, he has nothing.
And for only $5 a month. No, I'm just kidding.
You can feed all the kids in the world.
No, that's been a ongoing deal with Lauren. I've tried a couple times to get him to sign it, and he won't do it. And I had my girlfriend take it over to him at Nationals in Disney, and he walked up with it, or she walked up with it, and he looked around for me and saw me and went, "Nope." It's just an ongoing joke. I've known Lauren for about 12 years, something like that. So, and the next one that we're really trying is we're really trying to get these guys to come on board with us. This is something called Territory Whiskey. It's a pecan cinnamon liqueur. We know he can't have any, so I got him some fruit punch.
All right.
That's him. That's his fruit punch.
So you get to take a shot of fruit
Fruit punch.
with
This is yours right here.
All right.
And now this isn't like a straight up whiskey. It is actually very it's
Very
flavorful.
smooth,
It
yeah.
smells. It's smooth. So, cheers to Territory. Let's
Cheers.
Cheers.
Territory and fruit punch.
Man, that is really good.
Yeah, you like it?
That is really
Is this
good.
where you add in your peanut butter whiskey?
No, you've already told. I didn't have a time to do that.
Oh yeah, you had a week.
Man, this is really good.
But yeah, it's
almost
called
tastes-
Territory Whiskey. It's out of Hollywood, Florida, is where it's brewed. It's a liqueur, so it's not technically a whiskey, but
Right.
well, we're trying to get them to come on board with us and have some fun with us. And so we take a shot at least once every podcast.
I mean, if nothing else, they have a really cool logo.
Yeah, their logo's
yeah.
good. They've got some good. Their socials are pretty good too to watch them. But anyway, all right. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about future of Thunderation and Sub-Zero team.
All right. So this year, our plan is to hit as many We Rock events as we possibly can. But we're also wanting to do, even if we can't hit the certain ones that are, 15 hours away, 14, 12 hours away, we really want to get into more of, like, not necessarily car shows, but like off-road shows. Mm-hmm. There's one in February, the Starbird Show, right there in Tulsa. Mm-hmm. We plan on hitting that one with some good friends of ours from right up here in Guthrie. Jeff Griffin has a real nice mega truck that he sports. They had out there last year doing donuts and stuff, so we're going to do that this year with him out there doing some donuts and stuff.
Sweet.
But we want to kind of get into more of that too. But this being Gunner's first year competing, I don't want to leave him out either. He's like, Dad, I want some trophies on the wall too. So he's already been driving.
Well, he has one in his room, but one guy gave it to him.
Little Rich gave him a participation trophy because he's seen Landen was on course and Gunner's over there cheering him on. Well, Little Rich seen that, and so when he was getting his trophies at the finals in 21, he called up Gunner and said, "Here you go, Gunner. This one's yours." So that was really cool.
Very cool.
That is really cool.
But now Gunner, so it'll be head to head, brother versus brother, same courses, different classes, but we'll be able to compare their scores. So how do you think little brother's gonna do?
Good.
Are you nervous?
No,
I think you are.
I'm not.
You think
All
Gunner's
right.
going to beat you?
No,
No?
What if he does? You gonna be mad?
no.
You gonna be happy for him?
Yeah.
All right.
Good answer. Good answer.
I bet you $1 that he beats you one time. Your cat is moving the camera.
Wonderful. Sorry about the cat, guys.
I just saw it move and come back.
At least it's not meowing
So,
anymore.
I mean, since Thunderation has a Harley engine in it, I really think some motorcycle shows would be a good fit for it,
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
great idea. Great idea.
Just because you'd have these Harley guys walking around and be like, wow,
What?
doesn't have two wheels?
How's
it could
got
do that?
reverse,
Yes.
Something along them lines.
Alan is.
There you go.
He trapped the cat.
Yeah. Lock the cat out.
So now,
Oh, no. She came back in.
And she stared you down.
This is the epitome of, this is, in reality, Alan is hurting cats right now. And it proves
it's like putting on an off-road event.
proves how difficult it is.
She just
She
sitting over
stared
there.
you down.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to get in some more shows. I'm assuming to get some more publicity, more
Yeah,
visual and everything.
More publicity. Help our sponsors out more. Being advertising more.
Yes.
Is what more or less we're doing.
Yeah.
Which I think it's already
No, you're
cut
good.
in front,
You're good.
but a lot of people want sponsors and want something from a company or somebody that can give them something, but they don't realize that there has to be a give and take. So if a company's giving you X amount of money or product, what are you doing for them to make it worthwhile? So the fact that you're already thinking, hey, we need to get out, be seen, we need to talk about this stuff and promote, I think you're a step above what a lot of people think of when it comes to sponsorships, because you're already understanding that for me to get more or at least keep what I already have, like I need to be out there, I need to be seen, need to be talked about, I need to be talking about this stuff, so that way I keep sponsors.
Yep. You got to keep them happy, and if you keep them happy, everybody's happy.
I agree, and that's one thing in a lot of the promotional stuff that I do for Seeyouonthetrail. I think of it, it's kind of faux pas to call it a sponsorship, because to be honest, it's a partnership. Mm-hmm. If you aren't doing your job, they're giving you free product, and they're not getting back in return anything. In fact, probably about 10 years ago, FK Rod Ends, they made a post. I don't know if I still have it, but they made a post somebody was sponsored by them, and they were taking that product and selling it and buying something else. And so they made a product. They actually thinned down their sponsorship and their partnership tremendously that year.
Who was that?
FK Rod-Ends.
Okay.
And they slimmed it down big time and got with the people that were really helping them and stayed with them and really took care of them. But that's why I think of it more of a partnership instead of a sponsorship. Because whenever you think sponsorship, a lot of racers and a lot of new racers, they all go, "Oh, I get free crap."
And see, I look at it as more of I want to build a friendship, not just a partnership.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
With
Correct.
Like Chris Meyer with Maxis, we got a friendship. I mean, with Maxis we had a partnership too, but we got a friendship there.
Right.
Same thing with Trail Gear, Matt Messer.
Matt Messer's a good dude, man.
Yep.
I haven't spoken to him on the phone. We had text messages back and forth, but he's a great guy. Kenny Bloom hooked me up with him.
Oh, Kenny.
And so, I mean, it's like Stan with Brannick Motorsports. That guy's an
Great
awesome
man.
guy.
I have a good story about him helping me out at one time, and I'll never forget it. And yeah, great guy.
Yeah, Stan and his son. And everybody calls him Stan Brannick. His name is not Stan Brannick.
It's Haynes.
It's Haynes.
Yep.
Do you know where Brannick came from?
Uh-uh.
His son and his daughter's name, Brandon and Nicole.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Brannick.
That makes sense.
Huh.
So
That makes
he came and did a off-road limited off-road expo with me. And yeah, it's up there now. Good. Keep it up there. But yeah, he came and did an off-road expo with me, and we had a blast. And that's when I heard the story. I was like, everybody thinks your last name is Brannick, and it's not.
Right.
But the name Brannick comes from Brandon and Nicole.
That's awesome.
And Brandon's one of the main guys with Brannick right now. But
Okay.
I don't know if Nicole's part of the company or not. But
No idea.
anyway, you got Maxis, you got
Trail Gear.
Trail Gear with Matt Messer.
Brannick Motorsports.
Brannick,
Yes.
yeah, you got Brannick. I'll tell you what, little story I know about Matt Messer. He used to race KOH, and he had a co-driver, and he had a horrible wreck.
Yes, I remember that. That car is still racing, but
Who has it now?
the owner of Off-Road Warehouse, it is used to be Adler.
Greg Adler?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did buy it.
Yeah,
It was an
he's-
IFS car.
yeah, he's had that car for a while.
Greg Guggenbauer? Does Guggenbauer run it now? I don't know. But I don't know if you guys heard about this.
Adler runs it still.
Yeah, they failed to mark a threat or like a problem on the course, like
A danger area.
a danger area. And co-driver said, go to the left. And he went to the left and he ran right into a ravine. He hit so hard.
Well, they hit a boulder.
Yeah, they hit into a
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
And the spare tire broke off the mount and went like 30 feet forward. And
Co-driver broke his
broke
ankles.
both legs.
Both,
broke
yeah.
both legs.
He braced on like the
A foot
tube
yeah.
or like a footrest. He braced so hard when the car hit, it broke both ankles, both
and
legs.
it ended up hitting. Spare tire went flying. He ended up on his left-hand side. And there used to be video out there, but they talked to whoever uploaded the video, and they asked if they could take it down. But he actually, you could see Matt get out. He suffered a concussion, and he was dizzy, didn't know what was going on. That was
He's
a
having
big scary. I think that was one of the last years he raced as well.
He had to help get the co-driver out.
Mm-hmm.
And what I remember is they went to pass a car. So
Yeah, they went to pass a car. There's a turn right here, and he went to short the.
It was like an area they were coming into, like some canyons, and there was a single track, and they had didn't put enough warnings on their GPS of hazards, and so they saw an opening, went to go past this car, and
Went right into a.
ravine. Hit this ravine with like.
I think that's one of the. I'm not sure if he ever raced again.
I think he did, but I could be.
But
incorrect.
anyway,
There's Mama.
Christina, come on, Mama, come on.
Yes,
Come
here.
hang out with us.
Come here. Hey, no, come here. I need to go to the bathroom. You're gonna take my spot real quick. Well, too late. You're already spoken for. It's already on the record. We're bringing in Mom. totally with her. We talked about your bow fishing trips and
How
what they led to. By the way, I bow fish too. I love it.
So Panty Hill was mentioned.
Trying to set her up here and let her know what happened.
Yeah, so our first date was Below Disney, bow fishing, where I outshot you like crazy.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Did not happen.
So, okay, from a mom's perspective, when you see Landon and Gunner racing, doing Wee Rock, what's your thoughts in your heads? In your head, just one head.
Well, it's definitely cheering him on, but it's just like, oh my gosh, that's my baby, and that's doing that, you know?
Do you think that's awesome, or are you scared?
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, cool. That's awesome.
Like, oh my gosh.
Do you ever, Landon? Do you ever freak out when you see mom on the sidelines, like cheering you on?
No,
No. All right.
no.
Nope.
what do you do? Just smile or?
Well, usually I'm paying attention to you, and mostly to you. Sometimes I look over and see a lot of people cheering me on and stuff.
So what's your favorite? I don't think I've ever asked you this. What's your favorite about competing? What's your favorite thing? Like the people were around, the obstacles. What's your favorite thing about competing?
I like just having fun and the obstacles, and I like the climbs too.
The climbs too.
Do you like to win?
Yeah,
Okay, just checking. You don't like to lose, right?
not really.
Now it matters.
No,
Well, that's what's cool is what you've instilled to him is it's about the event, the whole as a whole. It's winning is awesome, but it's not about all that.
I tell you, my favorite part is about him competing, and I see this in Gunner now, especially since we've been practicing behind the house and stuff. I see he goes from playing in the dirt, playing with cars and trucks and stuff, just dirt bikes or whatever, and then as soon as you strap him in the seat and you lock him in, it's a whole different kid. Like, it goes from just having fun and everything to, okay, game time. It's people see this, they'll come up to us and be like, I can't believe the amount of focus that you guys have as a team, working together. It's crazy. And then as soon as you get him out, then he's back to a little kid again. But it's like just
He's in
Game
his
time.
modes.
Well, I remember this. I think it's the first time I met you. I know I've met you before, but we were at Visions, and he was riding around the buggy, and he was straight laced getting the buggy. Then we go to the pool, and then him and Gunner are just at each other all the time, and they were back to being their age.
Yeah.
But you put them in a car, they become respectable and worried about certain things, watching where his tires are, and they're just driving down the street. They're not in a competition at that point in time. So I can see that as well. And you say you see it in Gunner now, but
Yep.
Gunner wasn't. I don't know if Gunner had driven much then. That was what, 3 years ago?
I've let him. All right, talking about
2 years ago?
Visions?
Visions, the first Visions that we
21?
ever went to. When we hung out with the Midget Kiss Band.
Yeah, that's 21.
Yeah.
And then 21. So
You remember the Midget Kiss Band? Yeah, it was awesome,
that
wasn't
was
it?
awesome.
Yeah,
So yeah, Gunner's been driving for a little while, not to the level of like climbing big hill climbs and stuff like that, but he is now. He has
The mental, he
I
wasn't
mean,
ready.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
But-
now it's such a.
But now it's starting to finally click with him.
Nice.
And they've actually had a little battle.
I missed that. I wish I got to see it.
It was him and Landon had a little battle in the backyard. They were playing follow the leader.
Oh yeah, when Haas came and tried to bite the tires.
Yeah. So, I'll explain that to you in a minute. But they had a little battle going, and there was one hill climb that Landon couldn't get the drive off the bottom. Couldn't get the drive. He tried it and tried it and tried it and tried it and tried it. Finally, he just backed out and went around. Well, Gunner got up to it. Third shot, made it. And then, so Landon got mad and got back up on it. Kept trying it. Couldn't get up it. Couldn't get the wheel speed right off the bottom to get up it.
And they were running in the two different buggies,
Yeah,
right?
and,
Okay.
Yeah, Landon's in Thunder and Gunner was in Sub-Zero, and they had their own little battle going. It was pretty intense, and then that's when he blew the transfer case apart. but
Incoming dad.
yeah, right. Like, oh man. But,
Oh, was that the time where one of my front tires, when you like switched and
yeah, it wasn't.
when you try to unlock one, the other one would still move.
So I swapped
like,
in a
switch.
one of them Lockrite lunchbox lockers. Applied by torque, you know. So sometimes it'll lock, sometimes it won't. And so my plan is to go with what I'd like to do before March is go with a air locker for the front at
Gotcha.
least, and that way you can kick it in, kick it out for sure to help with the turning. Because if I put the spider gears back in it that I welded up, then the radius is huge, even still with rear steer.
Hey, I got you.
One option might be if you look at the aux lockers, because those can be mechanical, electric, or air, and they also have a manual override on them. So like if you break a line or whatever, there's a manual override where you can come into the front and manually lock it in.
No, I didn't. I never even heard of that.
OX, and yeah, you can run. It's like a pull cable or push cable, like on a lever, and then you can run air or electric with actuators on the front. So a lot of options.
Hey, Seth, come over here. You have any questions you want to ask her while we've got her on the spotlight?
How do you feel about having the boys in buggies?
He's asked me that.
I already asked. I already asked that.
I had to step out and
I asked if she was scared or excited. I already did that. Is there anything else you can think of?
Do you want to be in your own buggy?
I was kind of sad Mom didn't have her own buggy, but at the same time, I get to enjoy the boys and watch
Can
them.
you fit in the boys' buggies?
No. I cannot drive the boys'
mean,
buggies.
Mom
I can't even drive ours because I'm too short.
Mom got close to fitting.
So you
in
need a booster
my
seat to drive
Sub-Zero.
y'all's.
Yeah. To touch
well-
the pedals.
Or
I gotta
you need to
move
make
forward.
an adjustable seat.
I-
then.
That's on my to-do list.
But
Ask
Gunner
me in
won't
6
stop
months, I'll do
breaking
it again.
Stop breaking things, buddy.
Well, I think lastly, we need to get the last dude up here that's racing. Gunner, come up here and hang out with your brother.
All right, I'll swap out with Mom. Thank you for coming on, Mom. I know I kind of forced it on you. Here, let me get you up here, buddy. You want the headphones on? You don't want to?
Put your hat on, bud.
Here, you want to hear? Look, see, you can hear us talk. You want to hear that? You like that?
You want to hear it like Bubba?
Okay,
You
here.
can put your hat on.
Yeah, put your hat on.
Keep your hat on.
Okay, I'll give you my headphones.
There you go.
All right, and now you look professional. Oh.
Here, I'll tell you what, get on your knees.
Yeah, can you? There you go, buddy.
And the really cool thing is, I want you to say something into the mic for me.
Right here.
Yeah, talk right here.
Just say something random.
Can you? What's the name of your buggy?
Sub-Zero.
Is it? Could you?
Hear yourself? Yeah. It's awesome. Is it any different?
Do you like? How about this? Do you like driving Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Are you gonna beat your brother this year competing?
Your brother said that you're not.
Nope. Yes.
Oh, so we got a little competition here.
How many times do you think you're going to beat him? Once, twice, a lot.
One.
Okay, that's a prediction. You're going to beat your brother one time this year. All right.
Good deal.
I'm calling it. It's going to happen.
Hey, Gunner, what happened right there?
You got a dent.
Tell him what happened at the dirt bike track.
I tried to run around my dad's truck, and then I hit my dad's tailgate.
That's from a tailgate?
Yeah.
Ouch. Did it hurt? Yeah.
I'm assuming you didn't do it on purpose.
We call it the broke off unicorn horn.
Well, guys, I think we're pretty much good. I think. Is there any? I mean, you need to thank. Well, we've already went through the sponsors. That'll actually
Mom's
come
holding
out.
her finger up.
One more thing.
We're going to talk about how with Gunner going, who's going to spot who. Do we even know yet?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mom.
Now let's see here. Now
Mom
she.
wants to do Landon.
Yeah.
Landon knows what he's doing.
No.
Oh, so Mom likes Landon better.
Never.
No. So,
I mean, I still like that too, but
Gunner's going to get trained.
okay, so you guys are both going to be competing
yes.
together,
Yes.
but you're going to have two different spotters.
Can you not have the same spotter?
I believe you can. I mean, we're technically different classes, but
But you might be on course at the same time, right?
that's true. But I'm sure hopefully they'll give an exemption to where we can at least be together in the
can't-
same group, so to say.
Gotcha.
But Dad, we can do it. We can't do that because Uncle Christian had this one spotter, and he was hopping back and forth, spotting another.
So it might be it might be a possibility for sure.
So,
I mean,
who do you want to spot you in Sub-Zero?
Mom or dad?
come on in. Gunner, who do you want to spot you, mom or dad? It's all right. You can hurt my feelings.
Just say it. Whichever one you want.
Mom.
All right, now, Landon, who do you want to spot you?
Dad.
Dad. All right, then it works out.
I guess it's figured out now.
It's a family competition. Should
Hey,
be fun.
Figure it out together, Gun.
So, Mom, here's the thing: is y'all figure it out together. You don't have to worry about you start working with your oldest, who's already worked with Dad for a couple years now. Then you got to figure out their system. You get to start your own system with G-Man.
That is true. I like that.
Okay.
So, well, cool. Well, guys, thanks for coming out, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
I think we had a good time. It should be about I'm assuming about a 2-hour podcast. So, about an hour and a half
We
podcast.
get everything covered that y'all want to.
I think we're.
I think so.
I think we got everything. It's going to be a little bit mumble jumble, but that's the way most of our podcasts work.
Well, here's one thing I wanted to ask the boys is, what do you want to do in the future? What type of racing do you want to try in the future? Like, if right now you were to see when you're an adult, when you're your dad's age, what type of racing or motorsport do you want to be doing?
Well,
Like, it could be rallycross, drag racing, or sprint cars, or
Ballet or bowling.
yeah,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
basket weaving.
Right.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
Is there a type of racing you want to try?
Kind of. I don't
What?
know.
What do you like to watch on YouTube?
Mostly rock bouncing.
Rock bouncing?
Or
So-
dirt
so-
bikes or something
So
like
you
that.
think maybe rock bouncing you want to try?
What about you, Gunner?
Is there a type of racing you want to try? Type of thing
What are you
want?
staring at, dude?
Well- Hey,
Gunner, wake up.
Gunner, if you could pick anything to drive, what would it be?
Dirt bike.
A dirt bike, huh? Not a monster truck or anything? All right. Is there anything else that you haven't driven that you'd want to try?
Maybe like a monster truck or a go fast trophy truck. That's what I want to drive. I want to drive one of them.
All right, well,
I actually got the
Gunner,
the chance to do that.
you're not sure?
I'll tell you about it later.
All right, Gunner seems a little camera shy. I think I'm going to turn him a little bit.
Gunner, look up here, Bubba. See that camera up there?
Wave. Can you wave at it?
All right. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Wyatt.
Absolutely.
Mama, good to see ya. Let's go see Minnie Kiss another time.
Heck yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Oh,
That-
Visions the first year was off the hook.
Have you been to any other ones since then?
No, I haven't.
And that's where you hooked us up to meet Dave Cole
Yeah.
as well.
I fully
That
plan
was-
to go to Visions this year.
All right. Well, guys, we're done. I guess me and Seth and Gunner and Landon and Wyatt say we'll see you on the trail.
All right,
See you guys.
We'll see you
See
Later.
ya.
Yeah.
Hey, say bye.
Bye. Bye. Yukon 1 winches, 503 designs, well off-road, brand new, diesel and auto, and that's mostly all of them.
It looks like you've got a good support network to provide you with parts and help. Have there been any instances that you ran into where you really needed something and your sponsors really came through for you?
Yes.
What can you tell me about that, if you remember?
How about transfer case parts that just blew up on G-Man's buggy?
Yeah, because y'all have another car, right?
Yeah.
That your brother runs.
Uh-huh.
You want to introduce your brother real quick?
Landon knows about it 'cause Landon competed in Sub-Zero for the first
True. Yeah.
Sub-Zero's what started it all, right?
Yeah. Because
Right.
this is your second buggy, right?
Right.
And so, G-Man, you're running his old buggy, right? And what's it called?
Zero.
Sub-Zero. Do you like it? Or would you rather be in this car, or do you like Sub-Zero better?
Sub-Zero better.
Do you? All right. Now, which car do you like the best?
I like mine.
Okay, well at least you're not fighting over who's in what buggy, right?
Yeah.
So what happened with the transfer case in your brother's buggy, your old buggy?
So
You guys were at the house playing follow the leader. In
yeah,
the creek,
we
and
were
what
playing
happened?
follow the leader, and what happened is Gunner forgot to shift it in gear and just stayed on the gas while it wasn't in gear, and then it went forward, and then it sounded like tools fall.
Sounds like a bunch of tools falling out.
Yeah,
So who helped you get parts for it?
trail gear.
Nice. Did they send you everything you needed?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good. It's good to have suppliers that can get you what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
So is there anything on here that you want to point out that is really cool, really custom on it?
I like the seat. The seat's really comfortable.
And who makes that seat?
PRP.
Okay.
Who did the design?
Him.
Oh yeah? Alan did it, huh?
best part of it.
So do you like the camo?
Yeah.
So whenever I was in the Army, this was one of the uniforms we had, was this ACU pattern. None of us liked it. Like it didn't match with anything. Like I think it looks good on the seat, but when you're out like in the woods and stuff, it doesn't fit anything. It feels like you should be in a video game or something. So
That seat, you got to pick out everything from the stitching to the colors to what you wanted on that seat.
so the
too.
camera's behind you now. So you got this seat completely custom made, right?
Right.
So if anybody doesn't know, like PRP really good. Do you like the padding on here?
Yeah.
Makes it so much more comfortable, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And now with what you're doing, you don't have to worry about a neck restraint, right?
No.
So you're in a fire suit, helmet, right? What do you wear, gloves?
No.
No. What kind of shoes do you wear?
I usually wear my bad shoes.
What kind?
My bad
Just his
shoes.
play shoes.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't have to have fire shoes.
Okay.
Just regular shoes.
Are you ever worried about fire in this thing?
Just if it gets smoky and stuff, then that's what I'm worried about the most. But
And you've got a fire extinguisher on board, right? And of course, the courses you're on, like you've got people really close to you, right? So that helps a lot too. That really.
and they also have a big fire extinguisher, like,
Good point.
just in case if we didn't have one.
Okay. So I see you've got two pedals here. Can you tell everybody about why you have two pedals?
So that's the gas. You can tell by the go. But this is front and this is back. So this one will control the back one, and this will control the front. And if I push both, if I push one, it won't put this into gear, so because it won't stop right there. And I have to push both of them so I can shift it into digger four-wheel drive.
So you'll use the front and back separately to do like front digs, rear digs to position yourself around the cones and stuff, right?
Right.
And what's actually cool is the pedals have an F for front, an R for rear, and then the gas pedal actually says go. So I'm assuming you can read, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, go is pretty simple. I mean,
Yeah.
all right. It's not like you have to read a book to know which one. Do you ever forget which pedal's which?
No.
I heard you had a little incident at a toy drive event.
Yeah, my foot slipped off the pedal.
What happened?
So we're coming down this ledge, so there's two rocks that went like that and curved back in,
Uh huh.
and then it was a crack in the middle. So when I went down, my foot slipped off the pedal and then it flipped over.
Did it scare you?
Not really.
How many times have you rolled over in both buggies? Do you have a total amount that you know?
So 2 in this one. I don't know how much. There's a lot in Seeyouonthetrail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of dents in it.
Hey, G-Man, how many times have you rolled? Someone's stealing a car. Hey, G-Man, how many times have you rolled over? Do you know?
None.
You haven't rolled over yet? Oh, you have to break that thing in soon. So, where's your fuel tank at on this?
It is right here.
And do you know what kind of fuel that you run?
I
Is it just regular gasoline?
think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know?
gas.
Do you know what kind of oil that you run in the Harley engine? Harley oil?
Probably.
Okay, sounds good enough. Good enough. So, what kind of use do you what do you use the winch for on the front?
We use the winch if someone gets stuck. If someone gets them stuck or something, then if someone gets stuck, then we'll either pull them out if they're just stuck all alone in the woods or something on the trail, or we'll hook them up to the back if they're fully broken, nobody's out there, then we'll just take them with there. We usually use the winch if we can't get up something and everybody's already up the hill and stuff, we'll use the winch for that, or rollovers and stuff.
Do you use it to suck the front suspension down on climbs?
Yeah,
Does that help you sometimes?
yeah, it helps a lot.
Good. Your links, they're solid aluminum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, from what I know of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the solid links, the aluminum that they use, it holds a memory. So, like, they can bend a little bit and then they bend back. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Because, like, the steel ones, they'll bend and stay bent. But these aluminum, they have a memory, so you can bend it and then it'll snap back, so it doesn't stay bent. And Brannock made those, right?
Right.
Do you have any other Brannock parts on here? I'm assuming all your links are Brannock.
Yeah, somewhere.
Your steering links too, buddy.
Is your tie rods?
Yeah.
And you're full hydraulic, so there's actually no mechanical linkage on your steering, right? I mean, I guess the hose is, but it's fluid that steers. Is your steering really fast, or is it kind of slow and controlled?
Sometimes I pull it like really fast if I'm on a hill on the brakes and it's still going down, then I'd have to turn it real fast, but it won't ever do that unless it's in neutral or something.
Okay. What kind of shocks do you have?
Fox.
Do you know what style they are? It's not a coilover, right? It just uses air in there?
I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you got pressurized air, and that's actually your spring. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so there's nitrogen in here, and that's actually the spring. See? Hey, maybe I could teach you something, too.
You're learning.
But yeah, so like you've got some shocks that have a big spring on it, but this actually has pressurized air inside, like when you air up your football,
Yeah.
kind of it gets real stiff. So that's what's in here too. So anything else that you want to point out on your buggy? I see you got a GoPro mount down there. Is that to show you, or is that to show what you're going up?
Sometimes we'll do it to show where I'm going and stuff, or facing to me.
Okay.
What kind of motor you got in?
Harley Davidson Sportster 1200 big boy kit.
Nice.
And that is air cooled, right? You don't have a radiator?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has an oil cooler. Is this your oil cooler, or is this your I see you got 3 coolers back here. Do you know which ones are which?
This one I think works on the first button, I think.
Off your switches?
And then this one, no, they both work at the same time.
So it looks like you've got power steering cooler, you've got an oil cooler, and probably a transmission cooler?
I think so.
Okay. So this is a really cool setup. First time I'm actually looking at this. You've got the Harley engine adapted to an automatic transmission off a belt drive. The Harley engine is driving a torque converter off of a belt. They're side by side with the belt going across, and the transmission's here, the engine's over there. That's a really cool setup. Who came up with that idea?
My dad.
Did he?
I was thinking grandpa, but
It was a mutual.
So how did y'all come up with that setup? I'm talking to Dad now.
Okay, I talked to a couple transmission buddies of mine,
Yeah.
and we ran the numbers according to like the gear ratios in the transmission on the Harley motor itself, and then we matched the torque converter to what we thought would be the good appropriate range for what gears we wanted to run in the motor.
Yeah.
So we're running second gear in the motor.
And is it stuck in second gear
It's
all the time?
stuck in second
Okay.
gear. He can start it any gear, doesn't matter, because you're all controlled by the transmission. So all you're doing is turn the torque
So
converter.
you don't even do you still control the clutch on the
Nope.
on that, because
It's just
I guess it's always slipping.
Yep.
So
All it does is turn the torque converter, and so we got it really skeptical at first. We weren't sure if it was going to really work or not, and so everything was just tacked together. We got the motor set, transmission set, axles all hooked up, and no, we didn't get the axle hooked up. We had the transfer case sitting in there, and then we fired the motor and got it all turning, and sure enough, transfer case started turning. It's like, yeah, we're golden. Stop.
That is awesome.
So-
Now, the other buggy, the original buggy, Sub-Zero, what engine does
It's
it
an
have?
Arctic Cat 650 four-wheeler motor. And
Okay.
it comes right out because it's drive shaft driven.
Yes.
So it comes right out and hits the transfer case right off
Okay.
the bat, and then from there, it runs to the
Okay,
axles.
so that one's a little bit simpler.
Yeah, that one's way simpler.
Why did you do this?
So Dad had a vision when we built Sub-Zero the first time. He's like, man, for the new one, we should use the Harley motor. Nobody's ever really done anything like that. Especially, I've never seen it belt driven.
no.
Normally, like you'll see people put Harleys in like Volkswagen Bugs, where they're using the starter as a reverse.
Okay.
You can do that, and like kind of like the Goldwing setups
Yep.
and stuff. And so we're like, well, maybe we can run the belt driven off the torque converter and have everything you want right there. And so I mean, it works. It works great. We changed the belt. The belt goes through, believe it or not, a lot of abuse just sitting there. I mean, it does. And so we'll change the belt probably 2-3 times a year.
the belt?
But off that, I had a buddy of mine machining a cog pulley that runs the power steering pump right off the pulley. So if this belt broke, no big deal. We can pull him back, but it'll still have full steering.
So your power steering pump's running off the transmission output on the engine,
Yep.
and so yeah, you would always have.
And so yeah, you'll always have, as long as this belt don't broke like it did on us in Tennessee, we'll be all right.
Okay.
So
And how it broke
But-
in Tennessee, we have a flat one now, but it had little,
It
had
had little-
little grips like these, and it came up, then up, and up like little spikes, and it kept on pulling off, and then we're like, what's happening? Because we knew it was the belt. It's just we didn't know how the belt was popping off and
Okay.
stuff. But
So it just got the bracing or whatever came loose on the pulley just enough just to grab the lip and pull it right off. Well, then once we got to the house and pulled it apart, the actual bracket that I have bolted to the motor itself broke. It had been broke, and so I don't know how long that was. So we drove 800 miles to Tennessee, got to the first course. It should have been an easy negative 30 points, but instead we DNF'd because the belt broke.
Were you able to get it fixed out there?
Not on course. I didn't
Oh,
take any
dang.
tools on course. So unless you take tools on course, you can't run off and come back.
Okay.
And so we had to take a DNF for that. So that put us plus 70 right off the bat. So we were playing catch up the rest of the.
But you were able to get it fixed.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were able
Yeah.
to get it fixed. But it just sucked driving that far.
Yeah.
But still it works.
You can do the best prep in the world and still miss something, and there's nothing you can do.